There we go. Time for a break.
Hey, Raphael, that's quite a load you've got there.
It was my turn to do the shopping again, but I might have overdone it.
Aren't those trips usually for food supplies? Why did you pick up a bunch of spears and gauntlets as well?
I was passing by the smithy, and the old man called me over. He said he was finished repairing the training weapons, so I grabbed them since I was already there.
I see. And those books?
I had just left the smithy when I ran into a merchant I recognized. He said he had some books that he brought for the library, so I took them off his hands.
Right. And that desk?
Oh, this? Can you believe someone threw this away? It only needs a little work and it'll be good as new. Someone around here was just saying that they needed a desk.
Of course. Now, this is just a friendly observation, but I see surprisingly little of the food supplies that we actually need.
Well, I worked up an appetite from carrying all this stuff, so I had a snack on my way back.
Raphael, I appreciate the thought, but you can't get so carried away with helping out like that. You helped us all right out of dinner. And now that I've seen your struggle, I have no choice but to join in this vicious cycle of charity. Here, I'll lend you a hand.
All of this stuff is pretty heavy. Are you sure you can handle it?
You insult me. And no, I can't. I'll only carry the books and offer my support as you handle the rest.
Claude, why didn't you say anything?
You were praying so fervently, I didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I wasn't praying.
No? What then?
I was just thinking about the goddess.
Were you now? Fascinating. Please, go on.
Not here. Let's go somewhere else.
So, you were pondering the existence of the goddess then?
Yes. All right, consider this. The archives here have all kinds of texts about the goddess, right? But when people tell stories of the goddess, it's only myths and legends that glorify her.
They probably hope to rake in more followers by glorifying the goddess as much as possible. That would be why the church tends to quietly shove all of their more questionable records under some secret rug somewhere.
Claude, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just wondering what the goddess looks like. That's the kind of thing I like to think about.
What the goddess looks like? Well, I suppose if she really exists, she probably looks a lot like us. In fact, she probably wouldn't be so different from that old woman working here in the dining hall.
What? Claude, please stop. The goddess I imagine is absolutely beautiful.
How rude of you, Ignatz. I'm sure that old woman was lovely back in her day.
Ah, so I see. If one were to combine this incantation method with the power of a crest, then in theory, it should...
Hey there. Still studying, are we? Isn't it past your bedtime?
Claude, I really don't appreciate you interrupting me right now.
But if you don't get your sleep, you're never gonna grow big and strong.
Uh-huh. The last thing I need is you fretting over me as though I'm some child. I'm only a few years younger than you, you know. Hardly worth noting. Furthermore, my grades in magic and basically every other subject are far higher than yours.
Whoa there. I'm not trying to treat you like a child, I promise. This is me treating you like a princess. Now, come along, princess. Brush your teeth and get yourself ready for bed. I could read you a story if that helps.
Ugh, the audacity. Whatever it is you think you're treating me like, it's unendingly annoying.
If a child and a princess are out, what's left? Should I treat you as a noble hero? Draw your sword, Lysithea. If you wish to continue studying, you must first defeat me in battle. Come now, face me like the hero of legend that you are.
I find myself speechless in the wake of your staggering ignorance. Now, please, leave me be.
Okay, I can take a hint. But in all seriousness, you shouldn't neglect your sleep. You'll fall ill if you push yourself too hard. Oh, and just so you know, I heard a rumor that this library is haunted. It's probably not true. right? Right. Anyhow, I'm off to bed. Good night.
You know, I am suddenly rather sleepy. Excuse me while I see myself out.
No matter how she tries to hide it, she's still a young girl at heart. Marianne, please accept my apologies for my behavior yesterday.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Asking you about your family like that was pretty insensitive of me. No matter how curious I am, that's no way to treat someone. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You weren't being insensitive. I just didn't want to talk about it. I don't spend much time talking about myself. Not to people, anyway.
If not people, then with who? Unpeople? Non-people?
Well, yes. I'm much more comfortable talking to anyone who isn't a person.
I was actually joking, but now I'm mystified. Who is it you like to talk to?
Dorte the horse.
Ah, of course. Good old Dorte. And does he understand what you tell him?
We understand each other. He tells me when he's sleepy, or when his stomach hurts, or if his nose itches.
Sounds like a complainer, that Dorte. But let's table this fascinating discussion for just a moment. Now that we've gotten in some small talk, I'd like to know what you're hiding. You are hiding something, right? Your lineage, perhaps?
No.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it's all just idle gossip, that's fine too. But if it's something silly like, my ancestors were cursed, therefore I'm cursed, you should know that I won't accept that nonsense. That sort of thinking is stupid, and that's all there is to it. Say your ancestors were thieves. Does that make you a thief, even if you've never stolen a thing? Of course not.
But people have burdens to bear from the moment they're born. My burdens are so big that I'm sorry, I can't discuss this anymore.
People certainly are born with burdens. She's right about that. But Marianne, don't you know that you can choose not to carry them? Huh? Are you actually reading, Hilda? I thought you hated studying.
Oh, hush. It's just a letter from my brother. He sends them all the time.
Your brother, huh? Isn't he known as a great general of the Alliance? A true beacon of...
Don't even start. That's got nothing to do with me.
Uh-oh, better not let your brother hear you say that. 'Twould break his fraternal heart. But all joking aside, it sounds like he really cares for you.
You can say that again. He must be rather bored, too, now that the situation in Elmira has settled down.
Ah, the Elmirans, the Eastern Menace, as they're often called. I did hear your brother had fought them a number of times. In fact, I hear he's even gone toe-to-toe with Nadir, the great Elmiran warrior.
Nadir the Undefeated, was it? Just another grizzled old man as far as I'm concerned. But my father was ecstatic when he heard my brother had defeated him. He paraded my brother all over our territory. What a pain that must have been for our people.
A pain? Any celebration is something to be enjoyed. Celebration puts smiles on faces faster than anything. I'm sure even you at least congratulated him, right? A smile from you would surely mean the world to your brother.
Well, sure. Then he got all worked up and started saying things like, I am the protector of Fodlan.
That's not far from the truth, you know? Why do you think the Elmirans have been so quiet lately? They're wary of your brother. If House Goneril of the Border were a bunch of weaklings, the Elmirans would have invaded Fodlan a long time ago.
You talk about it as though you've spoken to the Elmirans yourself.
Well, I am heir to the leading house of the Alliance. I'm privy to all kinds of information, whether I like it or not.
You act so nonchalant about your studies, but you know so much about politics and history. You're a hard guy to grasp, you know that, Claude?
Oh, I disagree. I'd let you grasp me any day. My hand, my heart, even my neck. But if you want to know all of my secrets, you'll have to bear yours as well. Is the water supposed to be this cold? God, my head slipped again.
Hey, what's that noise? What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm sorry, okay? Another fine mess I've gotten myself into.
What happened, Claude? You're soaked.
The student whose turn it was to do the dishes today was ill, so I volunteered to take his place. The dining hall lady was on my case the whole time for breaking plates and getting water everywhere. Actually, not everywhere, mostly on myself. It was just one big mess. It wore me right out, too. I could really use a nap about now.
You might be a noble with a fancy bloodline, but you sure don't act the part.
Being noble or common doesn't have anything to do with washing dishes.
Oh, I dare say most nobles would refuse to do it. But hey, I prefer it your way. You don't act like you're better than everyone.
I'm honored that you acknowledge my greatness. And I'm rather fond of your blunt way of praising a person's strengths, too.
Really? To be honest, I don't actually trust my own ability to read people. I like to look for the good in them, but that doesn't always mean it's really there. I mean, you seem like a good person, but your heart could be black for all I know.
You say you can't figure people out, but what you said just now was pretty shrewd. It's wise not to trust appearances alone.
I'll keep that in mind. Though, I'm not sure I should be taking advice from someone covered in dish suds.
Ah, yeah, I see your point.
Meat is the best! Veggies and fish are great too, but there's nothing like a good cut of meat.
May I join you?
Hey, Lawrence, you here to eat? It looks like you barely grabbed anything.
Please, this amount will suffice for me. There's no need to compare our portions.
No wonder you're so skinny. My little sis eats more than you. Come on, have some of mine. You need it more than I do.
You offer me half-eaten scraps? The nerve! With manners like that, even a nobleman would be an absolute disgrace.
You're pretty touchy, huh? It's probably just because you're hungry.
Raphael, please, do you mind? I cannot enjoy the simple pleasure of a meal in these conditions.
Why can't you enjoy your meal? You don't like what's on the menu? You wait here. I'll go to the kitchen and find something tastier for you.
That won't be necessary. Please, just let me eat. In peace. Alone.
I don't think you get it, Lawrence. Nothing goes with a meal better than good company. If leading the Alliance is your goal, you should really try eating with other people first.
I'm afraid I fail to see the connection between leadership and dining.
If you want to be a leader, you have to know how to get along with different types of people, right? If you really want to get to know someone, all you have to do is share a meal with them.
Quite the contrary, unfortunately. It seems the more time I spend eating with you, the less likely we are to become friends.
The more you eat with someone, the more you learn about them. Their likes, their dislikes, you know? You might get some of their food that way too. You can eat more and bulk up. All that talking made me hungry again. I'm gonna go get seconds.
What an absolute bother. But I suppose he does have a point about observations of character at the dinner table. Lysithea, do you have a moment? There is a matter of significance I'd like to discuss with you.
I know you're always seeking the attention of ladies, but why are you wasting your breath on me?
Don't be silly. I want to discuss the future of the Alliance, to have a constructive and candid exchange of opinion.
I'm not so sure I'm the one being silly. Actually, I'm busy. Stuff to do.
Now, hold on just a moment. House Ordelia will never benefit from such a narrow-minded mentality.
I was under the impression you were interested in me as a person. What do house matters have to do with anything?
As it stands, the bonds between Alliance lords are quite weak. If this state of affairs persists, I'm afraid those bonds may dissolve entirely.
I couldn't care less.
House Ordelia may be small, but a small house is fettered by fewer obligations than a larger one. Apply yourselves actively in diplomacy, negotiate wisely, and you could do much to help maintain peace among the neighboring lords. The recognition of those lords would benefit your house immensely. To that end, why not start with me, the heir to House Gloucester? It couldn't hurt for us to become friends, could it?
Yes, of course, when the time comes. But right now, I'm quite busy. Maybe later. As it is, I'm studying magic for the benefit of the Alliance, and I would appreciate it if you left me to it.
Ah, I see. Then forgive the intrusion. I will take my leave of you for now. But if there is any way I can be of help, to you or your house, I hope that you won't hesitate to ask. After all, as I'm sure you know, the future of the Alliance is my responsibility.
The future, he says. As though I have a future. Thank you, Lawrence. You've done so much for me. You've been a tremendous help.
It was but a trifle. Surely there was no small amount of danger, but in the interest of experience, I was happy to endure.
You're so strong that I can't help but feel safe in your presence.
Yes, of course. Although, no matter how much brute strength we bring to bear, it is important that there be a leader on the field as well. Without someone possessed of my sound judgment and adaptability, we would surely be lost.
Surely, yes. My thoughts exactly. But,
What is it?
I'm going to keep providing support from the back. You wouldn't mind doing more fighting for me, would you?
Oh, well, physically, I can, certainly. But if you mean on an everyday basis...
I knew you would. You have the generous soul of a true noble. I'll have to write back home and sing your praises.
Really? You mean to your father and brother?
Oh, yes. I have to write my big brother pretty often, as a matter of fact. He gets upset if I don't. And yet, I never have much to write about. I've been really straining for topics. That must strike you as a terrible nuisance, the idea of me blabbing about you in my letters.
Nuisance? Oh, hardly. Your brother is one of the foremost commanders of the Alliance. I can think of no higher accolade than to have my name passed on to his noble ear.
Then I'll tell him about all your thrilling exploits. Although if you can't help, that's okay too. I'll find something else to write about.
Oh, fear not. I shall show you exploits of a nature more thrilling than you could ever dream. Incidentally, when you write to him, please do not refer to me merely as Lawrence. Please use my full name, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester. This will be an excellent opportunity to advance the status of the Gloucester name.
What a funny boy.
Hey, Lawrence, got a minute?
Certainly. I trust you're well?
Doing great. I found a load of old weapons, just got done hauling them out of storage.
Old weapons, you say? If there are any interesting swords in there, I would love to see them.
They might only be good for training, but with a little care, who knows? Here, have some oil.
And why exactly are you giving this to me?
Like I said, they need a little care. With a bit of maintenance, some of these will really shine.
Yes, I heard you. So why did you give me the oil?
It's for polishing, Lawrence. Don't tell me you've never polished a weapon before.
But that is hardly a task befitting someone of my station. If you had an exquisite blade, something of real historical significance to complement my noble heritage, that would be another matter.
In that case, appraise while you polish, you're bound to find something good working through these.
This seems as fine an occasion as any to air my grievances. I am a highborn noble. As such, it is my sworn duty to protect the common folk. I have no time for trivialities. What's more, you seem to be under the misapprehension that you can order me about. Please think carefully about how you speak to me.
I'm not ordering you around, and I'm not talking to you as a noble either. I'm asking you to help me with this, as a friend.
I am your friend, but I am also a noble. Those two qualities are not mutually exclusive.
Oh, good. Let's get to it then, buddy.
Yes! Time for food! Hey, Ignatz! Is this seat taken?
Oh, hey, Raphael. I'm done eating, so you can sit here if you like.
Really? But there's still food on your plate.
It's fine. I'm not that hungry. Anyway, I guess I'll be heading off.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ignatz! Wanna train with me?
Oh my, that equipment's looking rusty. Let me fetch some oil.
What's the matter? It always looks like that. Come on, we'll take care of it later.
Nope, you have to do it as soon as you notice. There's oil in the warehouse. I'll be right back.
Hey, Ignatz.
Hello, Raphael.
Are you busy? I need to talk to you.
No, that's... Oh, almost forgot. It's time to return this book to the library. I'll just...
Hey. Hold up. Are you seriously gonna keep running away from me?
What? No, I'm not running.
Yes, you are. Every time I try to talk to you, you make up some excuse and run. What's going on? You were a lot friendlier to me when we were kids. You were always so excited to show me all the neat stuff you had whenever I came to visit. We'd play hide and seek with my little sis, draw pictures, and do other fun stuff too. Remember all that?
Things can't be the way they were. It's regrettable, but it's the truth.
Regrettable? What's there to regret?
I mean, you know, what happened to your parents. My parents are the reason your parents died.
What are you talking about? My parents died in an accident while traveling for work.
Maybe so, but they were taking over for mine because they had other business that day and couldn't go themselves. So they recommended yours to fill in for them.
Huh. I didn't know that. But what does that have to do with our friendship?
No, but see,
Oh, I see. But we're done talking about this. You gotta stop beating yourself up over it. It was an accident.
He's just putting on a brave face. No one is that forgiving.
This theory just isn't coming together. The thought behind it is sound enough, but...
Hey, Lysithea! Your forehead's all wrinkled. You look tense. Is something wrong? You know you can tell your big bro you know you can tell me anything, right?
Raphael, while I appreciate your offer, I'm not so sure you'll be much help here.
What does that mean? Oh, are you researching something complicated? In that case, yeah, you're probably right. Is there something else I can help you with? I'm really good at other things, like training.
I have absolutely zero interest in such things.
I have an idea. Do you want to get real good at playing tag? I can teach you. There's a trick to it that most people don't know, like to not get tagged and stuff. Let me show you. It's too sunny to spend all day inside studying. Come on, Big Bro's gonna take you outside.
Shut up! Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else. What nerve you have too calling yourself Big Bro, like I'm your little sister or some nonsense. Just cut the act.
Did I really say that out loud?
Anyway, my grades are miles better than yours. If you want to play the part of Big Brother, you probably benefit from studying way more.
Like I said, I'm really good at other things. Just not classroom learning.
I can't stand all the excuses. Clearly, you're the little kid here. You got all that? Now don't bother me again. Understood? Bye.
She must be going through a rebellious phase.
Good morning, Lysithea. Out for a stroll, are we? It's lovely weather for it. I might go wander outside myself. I'm sure I can see some beautiful sights.
Ignatz, hold still, will you?
Sure.
Your shoes are untied. It looks sloppy. Let me just fix it for you.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. But really, I'm perfectly capable of tying them myself.
Clearly that's not the case. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, hush. There we go.
Thanks.
You've also got awful bedhead.
What? But I examined myself in the mirror before leaving my quarters.
It's the back of your head. Quite unkempt. You really should get it together. I mean, really. You're born to a noble adjacent merchant family, aren't you? You really should be more presentable.
Sorry, Lysithea. You're always so perfectly put together. In fact, I'd say you're perfect in all respects. I don't think I've seen you fail at anything.
Well, consider that if I make even the slightest misstep, everyone will treat me like a child. There's nothing I hate more than that.
I see. Well, I think you're very mature. If anything, you may be overdoing it somewhat. I mean, people treat me like a child sometimes. But I like it. because it reminds me that other people care about me. You know? No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
Ignatz, are you really lecturing me about how I conduct myself right now? You're a sheepish, unreliable scatterbrain who can only ever think about what others think of him. Perhaps you should worry about your own maturity before you start questioning mine. Although you certainly look the part of a baby, so maybe that's asking too much. Anyway, I've got things to do, so I'm gonna go now.
Lysithea, wait. Hey!
Out of my way! You're such a child, I swear.
That was uncalled for. After all, I am older than she is.
Is that everything?
Yes, that's the last of them. Thank you, Marianne. Just when I thought all the laundry was dry, the wind got stronger, and by the time I realized what was happening, there were clothes dancing across the sky.
That must have been frustrating to watch.
I didn't imagine they would float all the way to the stables. Thanks again for helping me pick them up.
It was no trouble. They landed right at my feet.
Well, now I can hang it all back up before sunset. Everything should be dry by the day's end. All right, I should get to...
Are you all right?
Uh-huh. The hamper's just a little heavier than it looks. Do you think you could give me a hand? Whew, we got here just in time. Thanks for the help hanging everything up.
It was nothing.
Huh. What is it?
I'm sorry. I know I'm not much fun to be around. I'm not very good at small talk either.
Oh, no, that's all right. After all, just look over there.
Huh? Oh, the flowers are lovely.
They were mere buds until just the other day. Now look at those gorgeous blooms.
How wonderful.
If we'd been chatting away, we might never have noticed them. Sure, the laundry was an ordeal, but at least there was a silver lining.
Hey, Ignatz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Ready to start cleaning?
No, that's all right. Actually, I'm just finishing up.
Oh, it's true. Look how tidy everything is. You've done such a marvelous job. I'm glad I didn't get in your way.
Thank you very much. So anyway, you can go now. You were talking to your friend, right? I just have some things to put away. It's okay, I can manage without you.
Oh, Ignatz, I thought I saw someone earlier. That was you, wasn't it? You know, I'd have been willing to help. You could have just said, hey, let's go and clean.
It's all right, you were having a conversation. I didn't want to sneak up like I was eavesdropping, and really, I didn't need help.
Oh, Ignatz, you darling. You're so considerate. Thank you so very much.
Glad to be of service. I'll start putting all this away.
Not so fast.
What's the matter?
Aren't you overdoing it? Don't you think you might be taking on too much,
Oh, I didn't expect to hear that from you.
Let me give you some advice. It's true that I like to delegate as many tasks as I possibly can, but when someone helps me, I make sure to lavish them with praise as a reward for their hard work. So, then we come out even. On the other hand, look what almost happened just now. You did all that work for me, and I almost missed it. Now, where would that leave you? With no praise, no thanks. You'd be losing out.
Personally, I'd prefer to lose out rather than inconvenience someone else. For instance, I'd have felt terrible for intruding on your important conversation earlier. Consider the negligible loss to me versus the major inconvenience to you. Personal loss is always going to be the better choice, right?
Huh. Well, if that's how you feel, then I'm not sure how to convince you otherwise.
Oh, Professor, here's the map you... Well, there's always next time, I suppose.
Hey, Ignatz, didn't you have something to talk to the professor about?
Oh no, nothing urgent. You didn't cut short your conversation because of me, did you?
Come on, do I seem like the type to do that? No, I just had a couple of questions about the bows. We're done now, so I thought I'd come and tell you.
The bows? Is something wrong with them?
Lots of them have come in for repairs lately, so I switched out some of the strings for stronger ones. They've been breaking less, but now they're harder to draw.
Ah, I see. I suppose people would prefer if you went back to the lighter bowstrings.
Maybe. If the only issue was the draw weight, I'd just tell people to get stronger arms. But the real problem is that you can't shoot as fast. The arrows also fly too far now.
I can see how slower shooting is a drawback, but the arrows flying farther, that actually sounds like a good thing.
Sure, on open plains, but up close you lose accuracy. That's why I thought it might be good to use different bowstrings for different scenarios. I wanted the professor's opinion about that.
Oh, good point. You know a lot about bows, don't you?
Yes, I do. I grew up in a hunting village, so I've been around them my whole life. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily better than anyone, but at least I know what I'm doing. And you? Do you have something you're really good at?
Me? Oh no, I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure you'll find your thing someday.
I hope so.
Oh, Marianne, there you are! Lysithia? What's all this commotion? What's happening? There's been an accident at the training grounds. A spell gone amok. Come on, we need all the help we can get over there. Oh no, but I don't know how We could really use your help before things get out of hand. Come on, hurry! I don't think I would be much help. Oh, for the goddess's sake! You won't know unless you try, will you? Don't decide you're of no use without even giving it a shot. Fine then. Forget it. I'll go on my own. You can just stand here and stare at the wall. I'm sorry. I can't do anything right. Oh. Perhaps I took it too far. Hey, Marianne? Do you have a minute? Listen, I'm sorry about all the stuff I said earlier. The situation was urgent, and I'll admit I wasn't thinking clearly. I shouldn't have been so callous. I hurt your feelings, didn't I? No, it's fine. I'm the one to blame. Huh? But hey, are you sure you're all... I'm the one who should apologize. All I did was get in your way. You would have made it to the training grounds much sooner if I hadn't slowed you down. Huh? Wait a second. It's all my fault. It's always my fault. The accident was probably my fault too. You're being so... negative. I don't know what to say. Aw, are you sure? Thank you so much. You're always so kind to me. I'll have to repay you sometime. Lysithia? What are you doing there? Don't tell me you were listening just now and judging me getting other people to do my work for me. I've got better things to do. Although, I do wonder why everyone is always so eager to help you. I only ask for help if they offer. I don't ever pressure people. So I've noticed. That's what strikes me as odd. I suppose they're just so taken with me, they want to help me out. I see. That would explain it. Oh dear, I was expecting you to argue, not to agree with me right away. There's no reason to deny what's clearly true. Everything about your outward appearance is immaculate and well thought out. Even your fingernails are always well kept and painted. No doubt your toenails are the same. I can't tell if you're complimenting me or accusing me of something. And you smell delightful, like candy. Or wait, am I catching a hint of floral? I'm so glad you noticed. It's oil extracted from a flower that only blooms at night. Floral oils, huh? I didn't think they had much use outside of homeopathy and house cleaning. I have some right here, actually. Here, I can give you a splash. There we go. I put it on your wrists, so you'll want to rub them together. Body heat is what activates the scent. Your wrists and your neck are relatively warm, so they're good spots to apply the fragrance. For a very subtle fragrance, you can also try putting it under your clothing. So, what do you think? It's lovely. Now I smell just like you, Hilda. Somehow, this makes me feel a little more mature. Thank you. So that's it. She just wants to feel more grown up. She's hard to read, that one. That smile, though. Who knew she could be so cute? I think I'm gonna pass out.
Whoa! Lysithea? You're really pale.
Yeah, I've been feeling really queasy all morning. I'm just heading back to my quarters to rest.
Can you even make it there in that state? Here, climb on my back. I'll carry you.
What? What? No. No. I'm not some sort of infant.
Always worried about looking like a kid. No time for that now. Just get on.
I'm feeling a bit better now. I should be okay from here. Thank you so much, Leonie. I hope I wasn't too heavy. Was I?
No, not at all. Actually made for a fun bit of training.
Training?
Yeah. Carrying someone around is good for the legs. You're just the right weight for it, too. I might ask you to help me train again sometime. Anything can be a kind of training with the right attitude, you know?
Are you always thinking about training?
Well, I can't devote all my time purely to training. So it's more efficient if I can train while I get other stuff done at the same time.
Wouldn't that actually be rather inefficient?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, for example, if you're training for endurance, it seems running would be a better approach. If you're only ever training by cramming it in with other tasks, you won't be getting the best results. I'm no expert on the subject, but even I can logic that one out.
Come to think of it, you do always seem to stick to a pretty rigid schedule, don't you? I've noticed that you focus completely on whatever it is you've set out to do. Then you switch to something else and focus completely on that.
You've noticed, have you?
Now that I think about it, you may be right. Maybe that is the more efficient way to do things. Hey, you're really bright, Lysithea. Thanks so much for the helpful advice.
That was sweet of Leonie to check on me and carry me all the way to my quarters. And in the end, I just lectured her. She did thank me for it, but I probably could have handled that better. Why do I have to clean the library? It looks like you're not busy. I was quite busy sampling pastries, I'll have you know. Who wants to sort books anyway? They're so bulky and heavy, it takes forever to lug them around. Right, Marianne? You agree with me, right?
No, I don't mind it.
Oh, you like cleaning then? I will say you look like someone who'd be good at it.
Well...
In that case, it's all yours. I'd only slow you down if I'm being honest. As I always say, if you want something done right, let someone else do it themselves. Right. I'm off to run some errands. I'll leave all this in your capable hands. Hey, Marianne, are you? Whoa! What happened? This place looks even worse than before. I didn't realize that was possible.
I'm sorry, Hilda. I just didn't know the best way to organize the books while sorting.
Oh, well, no way around it, I suppose. I'll show you how it's done. First, you have to decide where you'll put each topic. Then, all of the books that don't match that topic, remove them from the section. When you remove them, you need a temporary place to put them. Let's put books on magic here. Books on swordsmanship here. Once you've done that, you just put the books back in their sections, like so.
Wow, Hilda, that was incredible.
Yeah, what kind praise.
Looks like in the end, I'm doing this whole thing on my own,
Sorry. The least I can do is help you put them back on the shelf.
Why do I have to organize the library? I'll get in trouble if it's not done, and I can't think of anyone who'd do it for me. Since no one else is around, though, time for a little break. What are those sounds? Ha! Yeah! Leonie, always at it. How exhausting that must be. What's this?
Hey, what are you doing? That's mine.
If you leave it lying on the ground, people will think it's trash.
I usually wear it around my neck, but I put it down while I'm training so I don't get sweat all over it.
Well, people won't know that, will they? You should have just left it in your room.
It's a good luck charm. If I don't keep it close by, then what's the point?
How stubborn of you. I will say it looks to be a very well-loved charm.
Captain Gerald gave it to me when I was a kid.
If it's that important to you, you should wash it. Then again, I suppose it is made of wood. Have you considered coating it with resin? That would preserve it nicely. You could even accessorize it, make it look cute.
Thanks, but Captain Gerald made it especially for me. I'd really rather keep it just as it is.
Well, if that's how you feel, I won't argue with you. Me personally, I'd choose a cute necklace over a dirty old charm any day.
I'm sure you would. But Captain Gerald didn't treat me as some young girl. He treated me like a person who mattered, an equal. He taught me everything. I don't want to forget his teachings, so I'm going to keep this charm just the way it is.
Oh, what do you know?